If you give plenary powers to the election commission, it can become a despot. And we cannot close our eyes to the fact, my lord, that today a lot of people in this country see the election commission as a despot. This is something which we cannot close our eyes to. And therefore, my lord, that is why our application is largely on transparency.
Bhushan, let us confine to the pleadings only. Let's not make any sweeping statements.
No, that is there in the pleading.
Who was committed suicide? What were the reasons? Because that will unnecessarily.
So, my lord, what I am saying is,
let us confine to the pleading, the reply, and the response they have given.
Yes. Application that we had filed regarding deduplication, etc. My lord, I just wanted to, without repeating anything, give a broad overview of what is happening. Lord, for the first time after the first election in 1950, for the first time the Election Commission is creating voters list from a clean slate. It has never happened in the history of this republic before. This SIR is completely different from the earlier SIRs which were done. The 2003 SIR was, the base was the earlier voters list. From the earlier voters list, after door-to-door verification, etc., additions and deletions to that voters list were being made. Today, this SIR exercise is a de novo preparation of a voters list by asking every citizen to first file the enumeration form along with certain documents, etc. This kind of exercise has never been done before. And why this hurry? Why this hurry? Why is it leading to a situation, my lord, where 30 BLOs have committed suicide? You went through this. You are saying that you get enumeration forms filled by crores of people. Every BLO is supposed to get enumeration forms filled of all the people. Go house to house, get enumeration forms filled, etc. What happened to what happens to those who are migrant workers, etc.? How will they fill their enumeration forms? And you have given such a short time window and put such unreasonable pressure. Why? For what? And on top of that, you are saying that we will not follow any norms of transparency. You will not give the voters list in a machine readable form so that people can analyze, can easily and quickly examine whether your name is there or not there, how many duplicate voters are there, who are the duplicate voters, etc. You are saying that you won't use the deduplication software. You are saying you are not even putting the applications for addition and subtraction, addition and deletion on the website as is required under the election manual. That is why, my lord, those words which were read out by Vrinda in her arguments from that judgment, which said that we have to imagine that if you give plenary powers to the election commission, it can become a despot. And we cannot close our eyes to the fact, my lord, that today a lot of people in this country see the election commission as a despot. This is something which we cannot close our eyes to. And therefore, my lord, that is why our application is largely on transparency.
Bhushan, let us confine to the pleadings only. Let's not make any sweeping statements.
No, that is there in the pleading.
Who was committed suicide? What were the reasons? Because that will unnecessarily.
So, my lord, what I am saying is,
let us confine to the pleading, the reply, and the response they have given.
Yes, I'll confine myself to that. What I am saying is, my lord, that the exercise that is being done today is a completely different exercise from what has ever been done in this country before. And it is being done in a great unseemly hurry, unholy hurry, if I might say so. And it is being done in a non-transparent manner, with the result that ultimately, my lord, if you have a situation where finally they publish the result in the voters list in final voters list of Bihar, And thereafter, my lord, on the day of the voting, more than 3 lakh new voters were added between the final publication of that. And if you do not give the voters list as it is being updated in a machine readable form, my lord, people cannot see who's being added, who's being subtracted, and for what reason. So therefore,
Do we
it
have
is-
finally, because now that Bihar election is over, do we have ultimately final data available readily that after this SIR,
Yeah.
what is the overall impact? How many people excluded, how many added, and some figure?
So, for example, my lord, the Reporters Collective published a detailed report showing that more than 5 lakh duplicate voters still remained in the electoral roll. Now, this is after this SIR exercise, and they showed that these are duplicates because they took a great deal of effort to convert the roll into a machine readable form. That judgment which the Election Commission keeps citing to say that we can't give it in a machine readable form doesn't say that. All that it says is that for the time being, we are not directing them to give it in a machine readable form. These people, if they want, the political parties, it can convert it, use their own resources to convert it into a machine readable form. Now, if it can be converted into a machine readable form, how is anything going to be affected, adversely affected, privacy or anything else by giving it in a machine readable form? All that it does is allows this exercise of detecting duplicate voters easier. Why do they not want this to be done? Why do they want to make it very difficult for anybody to find out who are the duplicate voters who have been enrolled? And they go on changing the electoral roll from day to day, from time to time. They do not put out the changes. They do not put out the applications for addition, deletion, etc. And I'll come to that. I'll show, my lord, from the manual that this is what the manual required. This is what they are doing. This is what the manual required. This is what they are doing. Because the manual took, and on the issue of citizenship also, Election Commission has given repeated instructions to their election officers earlier, saying that, look, it is not the job of the Election Commission to determine anybody's citizenship. At most, what you can do is, if you have a doubt, refer him to the competent authority. That's all that they can do. Unless the decision of the competent authority comes that so-and-so is not a citizen, until then the Election Commission cannot remove anybody on the ground of citizenship if that person is claiming that I am a citizen of this country. And if he has been on the roll, and that's what, my lord, the Supreme Court said in that Lal Babu Hussain. They said that the very fact that you were there in the electoral roll earlier is a presumption of citizenship, etc. And therefore, if you want to thereafter delete somebody from the electoral roll, you have to give him reasons, give him a notice and give him reasons as to why you believe that he is not a citizen of this country. And that is why, my lord, advisedly in Form 6, the application for addition of a name in the electoral roll only requires a self-declaration. Because how many people have these documents which they are asking for? If one were to go on this basis that you must produce one of these documents in order to show that you are a citizen, more than 25% people in the country will be removed from the electoral roll. So therefore, and you can't arrogate to yourself an arbitrary power to decide without any guidelines as to how will you decide who is a citizen, who is not a citizen. And that is why Election Commission advisedly said, in not one, multiple communications, that Election Commission is not to decide citizenship. It has to be referred to the competent authority for their decision. And yet, my lord, this exercise is being done ostensibly on the ground to verify citizenship. This is the problem. It's a very, very serious problem.